critical. The Boomhauser brothers, real buffalo hunters. Had to arrest one of them the other night for raising a ruckus in one of the saloons. He paid his fine for disturbing the peace, so I didn't have any choice but let him go. He said he was going to get his brothers and come back to teach the town a lesson.
Yeah, well, there's always something like that going on when you're a lawman. Folks just won't accept it when they're wrong and let things go.
Well, the Boomhausers won't, that's for sure. They've treated other towns and gotten away with it. That's not going to happen here.
And you're expecting them any time now.
Yep.
Someone else said
Di ba may mga sound na not copyright na? Dapat i-download dito sa cellphone, no? Para mayroon tayong sounds. Download ka nga dito sa isa kasi mataas yung ano ng isa.
Yeah. My daughter, Holly.
With her olive skin, dark eyes, massive gray black hair. Holly's boyfriend was cute. She handled the rifle like she knew how to use it. The kid felt another joke.
Buang kang siguro kameraha ka, masin kaglibot-libot.
Your daughter is your deputy? She comes from good place.
Damag-damag.
A woman can't be a deputy.
Remember how Constance was right in the middle of a fight with broken spoke?
Yam! Ironiko, mega love shout out. May ano ka na. Kape tayo si Sikoy. Ito nga Sikoy eh. Kakape. Umiikot yung camera ko eh. Giatay. First thumbs up. Thank you, Yam. Maraming salamat. Taga Bohol here. Salamat sa taga Bohol dyan. Pareho tayong taga Bohol. Pa-jacket ka na po, Yam. Miga love shout out sa aking darling dyan. Don't forget to thumbs up mo pa. Ayun ang aking asawa. Nasa likod. Nanonood din sa akin. Mamaya na kay sis Janice. Mamaya ba yun? Anong oras si Koy? Alas 5 man ata yun. Umpisa ka Inday, no? Hi, taga hello sa hubby. Nandun sa likod. Alas City pa pala eh. Tama, pa-entry ka muna. Tingnan nga muna natin to si Yam. Malaki siguro ang bahay nito ni Ma'am Yam.
Nobody needs to keep an eye on me. I'm fine.
I want you to stay here anyway, Marky. It's a favor.
All right. But I get tired of being treated like I'm 5 years old.
Nakatago eh. First grand live stream birthday celebration. Schedule 31/12 sa ano to? Nakatago yung ano ni Ma'am Yam. Pagka 5 siya mag-start. Tapos 7 ata pinaka-start. Ito yung bahay ni Ma'am Yam, si Koy, oh, baka gusto mo. Tama ba ko? Yam. Ironiko. 3 million people in the house. Thank you so much, guys. Claudine Hanuhan, nakatamsak dan. Claudine Hanuhan, lista mo. Nora De Vera, mega love shout out. Malapit ang ating raffle ate. Another entry. Nora De Vera, please share, guys. I-share nyo sa FB nyo, guys. May signal ba dyan? Mayroon kayo, nandyan eh. Dan, ha, di ba? Marunong na siya. Vlogger na yan. Ibaba mo yung bahay mo dyan. Mayroon na yung ano sa tinuray. Hoping. Oh, wow, may ganun, oh. May pa-hoping na siya ganun. Mamaya pa naman yun kay Sergio Peter eh. Mag-hoping tayo mamaya kay Sergio Peter. Sino manalo sa atin? Laro ni Teo. Maglalaro ako mamaya. Magpalaro ako mamaya. Ilang minuto pa lang eh. Magpapa-entry muna ako sa mga. Gusto nyo ba magpa-entry? punta kayo sa sponsor ko kasi ngayong December 23 ang bola nito. Yung, di ba, yung naka-yellow, yan yung i-entryhan nyo. Mag-comment kayo doon. Dikit thumbs up kayam. Ayun, si Koy. Gayahin nyo yung iba doon na naglagay sila ng example. Ang ganda naman ng lugar na to, tapos lagyan nyo ng Mayang Bruha. Ganon. Ibagsak na lahat. Nagmamadali ang iatay. Okay na. Mag-ano na tayo. Punta na tayo sa pangalawa. Kasi may first entry na tayo kay Yam. Kay Ma'am Yam. Ito, number 2 na to number 2. Number 3.
The kid reached down to his gun belt and started to unbuckle it.
You and I will take each other on, Hubert. How about that? When the fight's over, win, lose, or draw, you and your brothers turn around, right back to your farm, and promise to stop causing trouble.
Number 4.
My brother can bust you in half with one hand.
They're right, Morgan. You wouldn't stand a chance against that behemoth.
If they go along with the deal, then nobody else
Number
does.
5.
Except maybe you.
They'll be all right.
All right. We'll fight it out.
Number 5.
Me and this stranger. And that'll be the end of it. But if he winds up dead, Marshal, you can't blame me and call it murder. Nobody's going to do that. It's a fair fight. Nothing more than that.
The kid handed his gun belt and hat to Porter.
Hang on to these.
Titingnan ko kayo doon kung nandoon kayo. Nandito yung isang cellphone ko
We'll see.
Timpla lang ulit kape. Sige, nakagtimpla diya, oy.
He handed his gun and hat to his brother Al.
Ay, Diyos ko. Ako, init pa.
I would like to. That make any difference to you?
I suppose not.
The kid launched himself forward, throwing his body right into Hubert's knees. The kid rolled over and got to his feet. Seeing Hubert was still down, the kid leaped on him, landing with his knees in the small of the big man's back. He clubbed his hands together.
Asa dapat mag-entry, pwede ko bisan dili vlogger. Oh, pwede ko kakayo. I-subscribe nimo siya o niya mag-comment ka. Kanang gibaba na ho auto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dunga na.
Across Hubert's throat and grabbed that wrist with his left hand to lock it down.
Yan.
Suddenly, Hubert lurched backward. The kid realized his opponent was trying to smash him against the building. He twisted his head around.
Sayang, malay mo mabunot ka sa 23 inday. Di, mayroon ka ng panghanda ng ano. Mayroon ka ng dagdag panghanda sa Christmas. Kaysa mag-Facebook ka lang. Mini lang naman to, hindi naman to malaki din ang price, pero kahit pa paano, malaking tulong. Bulanong Dako Adventure. Mega love, shout out to you. Hello host, nahinumdum pa? Nahinumdum sir. Pahinumdum pa, nagpahinumdum pa in town.
As far as I know, it was no holds barred and devil take the hindmost.
That is the way Hubert always fought.
It was
Tapos, pagtapos mo sa premiere lang ako nag-comment kanina. Okay lang yan si Sikoy. Pagtapos mo mag-comment kung ano napanood mo, Dai Claudine, lagyan mo ng ano. Ganito Yan ang code.
Deal's a deal. That fellow's mighty lucky Hubert didn't kill him, though.
Yan, ilagay mo, Mayang Bruha. Mag-comment ka ato nya. Butangan nimo naghuman nimo comment, butangan nimo Mayang Bruha. Para diretso na.
Hubert was starting to come to, but he was so groggy he didn't know what was going on. They got him onto his horse and all three of them rode out of Chalk Butte. The kid started brushing dust off his clothes.
Sample, ang ganda naman ng lugar nito from Mayang Bruha. Ganun. Dali-dali lang. Kung wala naman kayong mga ginagawa, o di magpa-entry na kayo dyan.
Look on, Ray. But it looks like you saved us from having to bury anybody today.
I knew you could beat him. Never had a doubt in my mind.
I appreciate that, Marshal.
Marshal Porter and his daughter lived in a small but neat house around the corner from the jail. With no extra room for the kid and Tate to stay there, they got rooms in Chalk Butte's only hotel. It was fine with the kid. He hadn't wanted to put them out anyway. Porter insisted they come to the house for supper, however, and the two travelers were happy to accept that invitation. Holly prepared enchiladas, a stew peppery enough to take the breath away. beans, and tortillas.
Nag-live
The
pala
kid
si
hadn't spent much
Tintin.
time on the Mexican border, but when Porter made the comment the food was like what they ate along the Rio Grande, the kid believed it.
Holly comes by her cooking skills, honestly. Her mother was the sister of an old trail partner of mine. Her family had a big rancho just on the other side of the border from the ranch that my folks owned.
How about my gun handling skills? Do I come by those honestly too?
Yeah, I'm afraid you do. That's about all you got for me, though. Your looks and that temper of yours, those are all your mother.
Yung ano nga yung kwintas?
When the meal was finished, the men took cups of coffee out to the front porch to enjoy the evening air. Tate sat down in a rocking chair. Porter and the kids stood at the railing, looking over the street.
You say you're on your way to Wichita?
That's right. We're going to visit Marshall Tate's daughter.
Well, that's a good thing. If Holly didn't live here, I'd sure want to go visit her from time to time. To tell you the truth, I hope she doesn't spend the rest of her life here. He was always a tomboy, but
Hindi pwede hashtag, hindi, wag na mag-hashtag, bawal yan.
way for a young woman to live. She needs a
Bawal mag-hashtag.
use of her own.
Maybe that's the way it'll turn out.
Gayahin mo yung kay Jaswell. Tingnan mo si Jaswell dyan. Gayahin mo yung kay Jaswell.
Those don't always turn out the way we
Yung kay Sisikoy Jaswell, tingnan mo kung anong ginawa niya. Gayahin mo yon.
Gently took the half-empty coffee cup from the old lawman's hand and set it on the porch railing.
Poor old fella's worn out. It's been less than a month since I saw you boys that other time, and Marshall Tate looks like he's aged a year in that time.
Some days are better than others for him. You're right, though. The trip's been hard on him, and it hasn't helped that we've run into trouble several times along the way. Be glad to get him back to Wichita so his daughter can look after him.
This isn't just a visit you're going on, is it?
The Marshall's mind isn't right anymore. Some days he knows where he is and what's going on, but most of the time
Bakit
he
iba
doesn't
yung
know.
ano ko, nabuang
Thinks
manday ko.
it's 10 or 15 years ago and he's still the Marshal of
Kay Ruel na ba
Congress.
doon na sin daw, nabuang man eh.
Couldn't be right.
Sa pag-erase ani. Remove, giatay.
Get really confused when they're older. Doesn't seem like there's anything
Di
you
man mo
can
di
do.
mao.
There isn't, at least not that I know of.
Duwa
Just
na
have to
pati.
take care of them and make sure they don't hurt themselves or other folks.
That's right. I had to take his gun away from him when he almost shot me one morning. Seems he convinced himself I
Tinga
was his
mo
old
butag.
enemy. Rick Cantrell.
Aray, lisura di wag dali ta oy, gahak. Nag-share pa kasi ako guys saglit ha.
Tate put him behind bars 10 years ago. I suppose he's still there.
Oh,
More than likely.
nag-share kasi ako sa live ko, tig saglit lang. Iba yung nailagay ko. Giahak ba?
Recall what it was, though. Don't reckon it matters anyway. Those days are
5 million people in the house. Thank you so much guys.
That's right.
Mamaya guys ha, magpalaro ako guys.
Two if he was cared for.
Yung mga nag-antay dyan, yun lang ang pwede Uy, bakit?
Cantrell had pushed his gang hard, not wanting Tate and Morgan to get past him. He would trail Tate all the way to Wichita to get his revenge if he had to, but it would be easier.
Bakit na, ano agad? Nag-yelo agad, giahak.
They skirted around the smaller settlements on their way south, but supplies were running low, and Cantrell knew
Dili si YouTube
to the next town they came to. As the riders, almost 24 strong, approached the
Dali ara doon nakadakop ni si
Cantrell signaled the halt and waved for
Lulu Bagi.
beside him.
Gikapiret dayon si Koy.
Right into town, Herb. The rest of us will swing west around that giveaway the far side. What is it you want me to do? Pick up some provisions? I know we're running a little low.
That's right. Get enough to last us several days.
The storekeeper is liable to wonder why two men are buying so many supplies.
Let him wonder. When you put cash on a barrelhead, he's not going to care too much.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Never saw a storekeeper yet who cared about much of anything except making money.
Naglit lang ha kasi nag-share pa ako.
They split off from the other men and rode toward the settlement, while Cantrell led the rest of the gang toward the
Dali ara nakaano eh.
Boys still ain't happy about
Nag-share
the
pa ako sa mga ano guys.
I thought this would be a good chance to say something about that to you. That you and Cantrell are close. Maybe you can talk
Sa mga katropa pits guys.
We didn't sign on to settle no personal grudge. Are you done? Well, yeah, I reckon so. And let me tell you something. You're one of the fellas who never rode with Brick before, so you don't really know what you're talking about. He led the gang for several years, and he never steered us wrong. And how come Cantrell wound up in prison, and the rest of the gang got busted up? That was just pure bad luck. Bad luck, and that damn Marshall Tate being more stubborn than any lawman had a right to be. Most star packers would have given up before they chased it down like that. I don't blame Brick.
Ila mama Tiri o Insel Puring o mga virgin. Ano? Ago, baliktad naman. Dungog ko hahamayang bruha naman bakas ko ha.
They'd be sorry if they ever did.
They left it at that because they were getting close to the settlement. Chalk Butte wasn't a very big town, but it was big enough to have a general store.
Salamat si Sikoy, salamat Kaswel. Ila mamatiri og Insel Puring og ma virgin. Ano? Te, regards daw nila are. Sus, ginoo ko na may message sa taas. Hi, mega love, shout out to you sa aking kumari dyan. Si Sikoy, Terry, mega love, shout out to you. Kumusta ka na dyan? Nang Puring, kumusta na? At saka si Ma'am Virgie. Kumusta na kayong lahat dyan? Share na din sa YT. Thank you so much, si Sikoy. Daples ang mga kapobrehang mayang ngayon kasi pagkadako kayo sa tagyawat. Maayo lang punihin tubo ni kay nay dungagon. Atay mo ni ba?
Yeah, I know. But we're here to buy supplies, not to go court.
Mayong udto kaninyong tanan diha. Kagabuol. Okay ra sila te. Alatang wala iligo pa si pobreng mayang.
The young woman moved aside when they got there so they could talk to the proprietor.
Ano da?
His hands flat on the
Parang ipot naman ba yan?
Tuttle started naming off the
Hindi naman niya nakita si Sikoy dyan sa lipin mata niya. Liptik na tagyawat. Muusbong na sila sa mukha ko. Di ko pa mawali. Silata. Sira ulo ka talaga.
Of course, it was just happened that he considered such things, since he and the others would be long.
Ay, sira ulo ka talaga si Sikoy. Ay, Diyos ko. Yahak.
Saw the younger outlaw sidling up to the woman who was looking at the display of dresses.
David Brown, can't you just listen?
Umuusbong na ba? Dito nga kay Banji, ipagiling na namin to eh. Wala na eh, isang piraso lang eh, laki-laki pa. Pisilin ko nga kaganin na daw. Tanggal.
He's not bothering me. That would take
Arbisen mo na si Koy para isabay natin ipagiling.
Pagaling.
Ay, Ginoo ko.
Then you should be more careful who you try to flirt with.
Come on.
Tuttle tried to tug Rowden back toward the counter.
David, Herb.
Rowden pulled away, violently enough so his arm swung around and hit the young woman across the face. knocking her right into the display.
Bahay eh. Nagkalintik-lintik pa mukha ko. Tigidik-tigidik mga kapayo. Hindi pa hinog. Ay, Diyos ko. Thank you so much sa 4 million natin dyan. Mag-find rin na kayo dyan at mayroon kayong entry sa this coming December 23. Hindi pa hinog. Ay, Diyos ko. Ay, si Sharon nga pala, sabihin na naman ng habol ako, te. Ika lang, si Sharon Sab pala. Ano yun eh? Ano ba yun si Sharon Sab? Sharon. Wow, Lonis pa na chike. Sana all. Ano ba yun siya? Sharon, naman mo yung mga dyan, duling na ako eh. Search mo dyan, oh. Sa taas.
You got a funny way of doing it. Trying to take a shot at my deputy and my daughter.
We didn't know. Look, it's all just
Saan?
a misunderstanding. My
Ba't
friend
tinilo mo ba?
I'll admit he was flirting the lady. He didn't mean it at all.
Yun.
It was just some harmless josh. That was an accident. I had hold of
Hindi
him
na.
trying to steer him away, and when he pulled loose, he sort of bumped the lady.
Tuttle looked around at the
Hindi pa hinog. Thank you so much sa 6 million natin dyan. Maraming salamat. Mayroon din na awa kay Mayang. Sana all.
Then why did he draw
May chicken,
names on my badge?
I'll admit we've had our share of run-ins with the law. Reckon he just acted without thinking. But we're not wanted, I swear. We just need to pick up some supplies and be on our way.
How about that, Norman?
Sana ba yung message in?
All right, a pretty good lot of them. Porter thought about it for a moment and then holstered his gun.
You think you can get him on his feet and get him out of here once you got your provisions?
I'm sure I can, Marshal.
All right. We'll let this go then, providing both of you get out of town and don't show your faces here again.
Porter glanced at Holly.
That's all right with you? You're the only
Tingnan mo
one
dyan,
that
di.
got
Baka
hit.
mayroong ano ha, hindi ko nakikita.
I've had horses that
Wala
made
pa
me a lot
naman
harder.
cellphone dito.
Sure, let them go. I'm gonna keep an eye on them until they ride out of town, though.
That's fine. Thanks for your help, Mr. Morgan.
Akin na, anak na inumin kayo mamaya.
Yeah, but you were ready to step in if you needed to. You and Marshal Tate.
Hehe, wala naman bayad, kaon ra.
One thing Herb Tuttle had learned over the years was to never turn his
Sabi
back
na
on
eh.
a stroke of luck.
Kaya niwala na may bayad eh, kasi bago lang eh.
Mega
Mega love shout out! Ine, Janes Cortez, tamsak, daan lang ate, start ako in 30 minutes.
I don't give a damn about that.
Salamat sa pagdaan-daan mo, Inday. Josuel Roquetera, MLS Osis, Janes Cortez. Nanite, Fortes, tamsak, mega love shout out, Nanete Cortez. May jacket ka na po, ma'am. Nanete. Na iba na ba time uses Janice? Sabi ni si Kuya Josuel. Josuel Roquetera, MLSO. 4 p.m. pa din. Mega love shout out. Vince Sky, Bunso, maraming salamat.
That'll be up to Brick too. He makes the plans. Better be a good one. As far as I'm concerned, it's past time riding with this gang starts to pay off.
Maalat pa rin yung mukha ko kahit naghilamos na ako na ano pa rin siguro tuyo, no? Kahit naghugas na ako ba kasi nagbalot kasi ako ng tuyo kaganina. Maalat pa rin. Ginoo kong giatay, maalat na nga yung mukha ni Mayang. Pati ba naman balat maalat pa rin. Mega sure eh. Iba pag pagkakaalam ko agoy, i-charge muna si PH. Yung ano ba yung ano ng tuyo, nagbalot kasi ako kaganina. Kahit na ilang hugas na yung ano ko, hilamos na ako ng hilamos. Maalat pa rin. Maalat pa rin. Ay nako.
Okay, ganun no. Naka, ano ka
Iwan. Gamitan na sugar.
Ilang mo sa sugar.
Ay, Diyos ko. Kailangan mo na maghanap buhay, sisikoy, bago mag-white tea. Yaho, anong meron host? Louie Gomez. Nagpapaintry ako, Louie. Tapos later, magpapalaro tayo later. Alligator. Matatapos naman ako, ano eh. Lasingko, tapos na ako. Lasingko. Babali yung gunting ko nila. Tapos na ba kayo dyan sa nakapin, guys? Sabihin nyo lang sa akin kung tapos kayo sa nakapin, ha? Kasi magbababa ako na another. Sabi mabali yung gunting eh. So, ginoo ko Manuel. Pipicturan ko yung mukha mo tapos isend ko sa'yo para makita mo yung mukha mo. Hanggang dito na abot eh. Ganda. Dan na si Sikoy. Ayun. Si ano, apa. Nalista mo yung una niya.
Wala akong makita ano.
Pang 5 na lahat yung binaba ko eh.
Still, that's just four of them against
Gumaya
all
man
of
ibe.
us. They won't have a chance.
Sayang ra ko
Finally,
din
I'll
kasi
settle up with Tate
wala ka na
for
ba?
10 years.
Yung iba oh.
The kid and Tate ate dinner at Marshal Porter's house again that evening. When they went out on the porch after the meal, the kid mentioned the odd look the older stranger had given them in the general store.
He acted like he didn't want to be noticed.
Number 6.
He was probably just mad because his friend
Number
got knocked out.
7.
He should have been grateful it wasn't worse than that.
Tama.
Could have locked up the two of them for disturbing the peace.
Maybe that was it.
The kid cast his mind back to that afternoon and tried to remember everything that was said inside the general store.
Number
One had called Marshall
8.
Tate by name, the kid recalled, and that led him to speculate. Tate had made quite a few enemies while he was packing a badge. The kid had already seen ample proof of that. Maybe the stranger was
Number
another one of those.
9.
Given Tate's current mental state, there was a better than even chance he wouldn't recognize someone who was holding a grudge against him. In that case, there was also a chance the man would double back to Chalk Butte and try to bushwhack the old lawman. It would be easy enough to do in a hotel.
Marshall, I was thinking, you got a card in your office, don't you? Sure.
Salamat sa 5 million dyan na nakatambay. Maraming salamat. Si Nini, mayroon na tong jacket eh. Hindi ko siguro dumaan.
Would you want to do that? I was thinking that fella this afternoon might be somebody with a score.
Tingnan
to
nga
settle
natin
with
to si
Marshall
Nini
Tate.
ilang ano.
Nonsense. I never saw
Ilan
that
ang
man
kanyang
before in my
subscriber?
life, or the one with him either. Maybe you just don't remember them, Marshall. Of course I remember somebody who wanted to kill me.
Porter glanced over at the kid, no doubt recalling their conversation on the porch the previous night.
You're thinking the marshal's office would be
Sayang, hindi ko
safer
siya.
than
Isulat mo nga dyan yung hindi ko na-subscribe. I-subscribe ko siya
What do you
mamaya.
think to look for us there?
a bad
Nanet.
idea.
Nanet
Probably
pala.
not necessary, but still
Nini.
not a bad idea.
Nanet Portes. Yata.
That's all right, Marshal.
Nini, ako ng Nini. Nanet pala.
Do me a favor.
Nilakihan ko yung litra.
Like leaving it up.
Lahi, radyo da.
Somebody needs to be
Yes.
there in case anybody has some trouble.
Nanet pala.
So,
Buti malaki yung pag-ano ko doon sa ano.
You could say that.
I don't mind.
Hindi pa maklaro yung picture.
You and your daughter have been so kind to us while we're here. This would be a way to pay you back a little.
Sure. Works out best for everybody that way.
All right, fine. We'd be glad to help out, won't we, kid? Of course. Maybe the marshal could stay here while I go back to the hotel and get some of our things.
Plano ko dito, yung halaman ko doon, ita-transfer ko dito tapos lagyan ko ng mga orchids sa gilid-gilid. Ilagay ko sa table, sa labas.
No, I don't like to leave the place.
7 million people in the house. Thank you so much sa mga patago-tago nyo dyan. Ayaw nyo magsalita. Ayaw nyo bang mahawaan kayo ng ano ni Mayang?
As soon as I move a few
Ano
things
ba
down there.
siya?
Take your time. It's a beautiful evening.
Narinig mo
Three
yun.
of us will sit here and enjoy it. Won't we, Marshal?
That we will.
Ayaw ba
Maybe I
sa
better come with
akin?
you, Mr.
Hindi,
Morgan. After all, the office is locked up. You'll need somebody to let you in.
Ano ba pangalan nun ni ate? Ang hirap naman kasi iba-iba mga pangalan. Eh. Ano ba yan? Si Ate Tata.
I guess it'd be better if the official deputy went along.
Anyway, I don't particularly want to
Iba-iba
start
mga
on
pangalan eh.
this
Mga
story.
nagtatago ang mga
Story.
Mahak.
And go along, both of you.
The pair walked along the street toward the hotel.
I hope you don't mind me
Session.
volunteering to accompany you like that, Mr. Morgan.
Saan na ba si Sean?
The man would have to be a fool to
Ano ba
object to
siya ganyan?
spending time with
Huwag na lang
you.
ka kung mag-live.
Or would you rather I call you deputy court?
Hoy Basyon, nasaan ka na ba? Di atay po ni maghanap-hanap po tayo ng mga iba-iba. Hindi mo nga ma-search kasi nga iba nga yung pangalan
When
eh.
they reached the hotel, the kid
Ano mo,
went
ma-search
to
dyan?
for himself and Tate. Since the rooms were already paid for, he didn't
Hindi,
gather up all their gear, just what they would
Uy.
need for the night.
Di atay man mo nangita Portes na mapunay, gibugi.
Why don't you tell me the truth, kid? You're doing this because you think
Sino ba yung sininan ko kanina?
Marshall Tate made a lot of enemies in his time. He ran into some of them back up the trail. I don't like the way one of those strangers was eyeing us this afternoon.
You
Ay,
think he's got
nako.
a score to settle with the marshal?
Aba, nagkatambay lang kayo dyan. Ano ba kayo? Gumalawar mo kayo dyan.
Get in there without much trouble and start shooting.
Tingnan mo na.
That's the general idea.
Yeah, you'll be safer in jail.
Yusikan na doon yung buang oh.
Ang cute to be. Parang,
Parang Buddha na yung mukha. Eh, Diyos ko, Ginoo ko Manuel. Konting ano naman. Ayun oh, giatay oh. Copyright agad. Gi-
siguro sa ano.
6 to 9 done. Ayun na. Talagang birada ka na dyan ha. Sinishare ko, mali-mali pala yung share ko kanina. Gibahak.
Holly scraped a match to life and lit the lamp on the desk.
There's a cot in the back room and a sofa out here. It's not too uncomfortable if you watch out for broken spring.
Now remember that.
The kid dropped the gear on the sofa. As he did so, she moved closer to him, and something stirred inside him. He had a feeling she wasn't looking for anything serious any more than he was.
Si Sion, ano bang, di naman kasi, ano ba yun, nakahubad ba yung picture niya? Iba naman pangalan niya na, hindi na naman Sion eh.
The kid's hand shot out and gripped her arm, stopping her.
Let me
Yung
know.
nakaraan, iba may yung nga niya.
If you jerk that
Ay,
door
sa
open,
YouTube
the light
naman.
still burns.
Ha?
You'll be a perfect target.
You're right.
Nade ko sa YouTube.
Naata kay ano kay Haya.
Siyawa mga ngan ay mga
Stepped out into the night.
Beatbox.
The kid was right behind him.
Haya. Ay, wala gusto ko ng Haya. Bo.
There was no cover,
ayun.
Haya.
so the kid
Haya.
moved his free
Haya.
arm around
Ganito.
Holly's leg.
Gihaya.
and rolled backward
Ganyan,
through the door.
ganyan. Haya.
The kid rolled to the side, broke his
Salamat sa adtab. Ha ha ha.
to his feet, and went to one of the windows.
Aray, ang kate.
The windows were equipped with
May
heavy
ngati
shutters
tuloy
on
akong
each side, and
kagilukan dito sa Sikoy.
Is there a back door?
Yes, hold on.
Good idea.
Uy,
the kid pulled one of the shutters
Dan ka na rin pala. Ikaw lang. It's me, Sarah. Mega mega love. Shout out.
across the street.
Ikaw lang ba yung nagpapa-entry dyan sa Sikoy?
Opened fire on anyone who left the
Oh, hay.
Sounds like the whole town's under attack. Who was this?
Usik-usikan.
Got a hunch it has to do with that hombre who was giving us the skunk eye at the general store this afternoon.
Some old enemy of Marshall Tate's? He must have brought a blasted army with him from the sound of it.
Hindi ko pa pala nailagay yung iba kong ninja sa ano.
He didn't know what he was
Ano
saying
yan?
was
Uy,
possible.
pangit na tingnan,
He
Bill.
realized he couldn't
Tignan
move
lang
down.
yan eh. Mahalaga dyan
Bahala
sinusulatan.
ka. Pero,
What do you think he
It's me, Sarah. I'm LSO. Sabi ni Justice Sikoy Jaswell. 5 million people in the house. Thank you so much, guys.
Porter would want to put Jared Tate in harm's way, but his duty to the people of
ganda
Chalkview
ng
would come
blood
first.
na.
Porter might tell Tate to stay put at the house, but it was also possible he would take the old lawman with him while he investigated.
Sino pangalan?
Love
In a fight
lives.
like this, having Tate around might even come in handy. Danger seemed to bring out the best in him,
Sana
put
all.
his brain into working more like it once had.
Really trying to
Hindi
make
ko
it here to
maya.
the jail.
He might.
Banha
He
yan.
knows that's where we were headed.
Dapaga na. Ha ha ha. Oo. Huwag ka mag-alala. Ito na.
Easy to defend.
We can't just sit tight.
Ikaw yung nangunguna ngayon eh.
I need to go help him.
Ikaw yung na-late nakaraan. Ikaw naman yung nangunguna.
Find out what's going on. You can close and bar the door and get behind me as soon as I'm out.
I know my way around this town a lot better than you do, Blast it.
Wow.
I'm the one who won't be going out there.
Yeah, but I've had more experience fighting killers.
How do you know that?
Take my word. Somebody's got to hold down the fort here in case your father and Marshall Tate show up. And you're the
The
best
Stone
one.
Life lagi.
Oh, come on.
Oo, yun yun. Virgin niya yun. The Stone Life. Dan ka na? Tapos ka na?
Your bloody corpse.
You wouldn't even shed a single tear.
Oh, I'm the part that changed my mind, damn it.
Yan yung sponsor din. Die. The Stone Life. Marami yan. Dyan. Marami ka pang pupuntahan.
The kid knew he was stepping into another ambush, but he had to risk
Tsuran mo nga. Tapos ipasa mo sa akin para alam ko.
plan a counterattack.
All the door
Ayan na. 10, 11, 12. Pagka ano, gayahin mo si ano day, oh, si Jaswell Roquetera. Sabi niya, oh, Dan 6 to 9. 4 na video yan eh.
I'll see you later.
Isang sponsor, 4 na video ang binababa ko.
The kid moved along the rear wall of the jail until he reached the corner. Instinct made him pause there. Even though he hadn't been conscious,
Ayaw, ibutang nakasubscribe kasi bawal yan. Tika, erasin ko.
shadows next to
Bawal
him,
sa YouTube yan.
he pressed himself against
Baka
the
masipa ako.
Nasa ata, ilista ko na.
deeper patch of darkness shifted.
Nilista na ni Evangeline. Mana makaha, gilista. Dinha nakasakuan. 10 to 13.
They stopped.
Basta magsabi ka lang na Dan. Ganyan, Dan lang, Dan. Alam na namin yon pag sinabi mong Dan, alam na namin. Bantayan mo sa December 23. Yun ang bulan nito, December 23.
Was right. The men were after Marshal Jared Tate. The old lawman must have been one hell of a fine lawman to make so many enemies of the outlaw breed.
I pick one side, take the other, and when it comes out, we'll have them in crossfire. Just be careful, you don't shoot each other.
The kid remained motionless until the two men were in position flanking the jail's rear door. Then he made his move, coming up behind the closest one and looping an arm around the man's neck. The kid pressed the muzzle of his Colt against the outlaw's
5
forehead.
million people in the house. Thank you so much, guys. Nagtambay lang sila. O, salamat sa nagtambay dyan.
Strap on the back door of the jail.
Meron nakatambay eh. Kasi bakit ano yan oh, may nakatambay.
I've got a couple
Pero ilan lang yung nagpapa-entry.
How do I know that I'm a gun?
Because I let them shoot me before I retreat.
The kid put the two unconscious men into a cell. Holly lit a lantern so they could see their faces.
Whoever the boss of this gang is, he sent these two to watch the back door. They didn't get here quite soon enough. I was able to jump them.
That's pretty good work. Taking the boat without firing a shot.
Hold the light closer.
The kid drew his Colt again and pointed it at the two men.
Wake up, fellas. Unless you'd rather die without seeing it coming.
The kid had never seen the men before, but was still convinced the attack on the town had something to do with
4 million, 4 million.
You better talk, or I won't have any reason to keep you alive. Who's behind this? What does he want? Who are you, mister? Never mind that. Just answer the questions.
You find out soon enough. Our boss will wipe out the whole town if he asks you to get what he wants.
And that's Marshal Jared Tate, isn't it?
To go to hell, I'm not talking.
Well, then.
Don't shoot, don't shoot.
Grabe, pag umpisa pa lang mag-live eh. Copyright agad. Sa amin lang sa.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Ingay
The
kasi.
boss has got
Bakit
50
minsan?
townspeople
Sumada ka sa
rounded
inyo,
up and
nakabira.
herded into the church. He'll kill them all.
Ano yung pinakuan mo?
And
Tumpot-tumpot.
that is...
Mongoloid nga eh. Hindi ko kasi nalagay dito yung mga ninja ko eh. Kaya hindi ako makatambay.
Suspected he knew who was behind the attack on Chuck Butte. Hearing Brick Cantrell's voice still came as a shock to the kid. Not that he had ever heard Cantrell's voice before, of course. The shock came from having been told Cantrell was still in prison and believing that to be true. Whether he had escaped
May
from
gidamag-damag
custody
ka.
or been released, in the end, it didn't matter. The
Ah.
only important thing was that
Ah.
Cantrell had hostages under the guns and his men.
Wag
He
ko.
had vengeance on Marshal Jared Tate.
10-13 done.
Smart now, are you?
What are we gonna do?
Come on.
The kid led the way back to the
Turu
front door.
turu tut.
He's crazy. Pure loco.
He's had 10 years in prison to get that way, if he wasn't to start with. Where's that church you mentioned?
There are 3 in town. I don't know which one he's
Ah,
talking about.
nag-live din pala si sila, si Kuya Orsilin, hindi
That's
ko
what I
alam.
had in mind.
Sorry naman po,
He doesn't know we're
busy ako
prepared
kanina
for the
po.
So we can get out and they won't know we're on the loose.
setback.
Ay,
Right.
nabuang na.
The two of us can't do much good against all of them unless we have some sort of plan.
We need to find my father.
Walang
and Marshall
himala.
Tate. Or will Marshall surrender himself to Cantrell?
I don't think your
Ako
father
ko'y
would let
busy
you do that.
kanina, mga langga, mga gipang bilangga.
We need to
Tingnan mo
get
ta.
out there.
Ha?
Tingnan mo.
We can work our way back.
Walang himala si Sikoy, host. Ang himala, Nora Unor kong titignan.
Even though his companion
Yahak,
didn't see him.
Nora Unor
Don't
gazon.
head for the jail. We'll head for them. Sounds like it might work. There's something we need to do first. We can't leave those prisoners able to yell and warn Cantrell.
What are you gonna do? We can't just kill them in
Walang
cold blood.
himala.
Maybe not. We can make sure they stay quiet. Tie him up and gag him.
What if I tell you to go to hell instead?
Then I just shoot you both and be done with it.
You're bluffing.
Darren's
You're
one.
right. It would be quieter and attract less attention if I just cut your throats. Mighty efficient, too.
Better do what he says. I think he's crazy enough to do it.
His partner gave in.
Ang kala ko si Bilasa.
And
Hindi
used
pala.
them to bind the other man's wrists behind his back. Then fashioned a gag with more scraps of cloth.
All right. Come up here by the bars and turn around.
Oh, you gonna knock me out?
Ano ba niya?
There's still the throat cutting option.
The
Sino?
outlaw did as he
Wala
was
ko
told.
ganun.
Molly unlocked the door then. The kid dragged the unconscious man into another cell, tied and gagged him. Separated like that, the two
13,
outlaws couldn't try to free each other.
14.
Satisfied they had done all they could, Holly relocked the cell doors, and
15.
she and the kid went to the back door.
I'll go first.
You know, you started giving orders mighty easy there. I'm the peace officer here, not you.
Didn't mean to step on your toes. I was just doing what made sense.
Oh, go ahead. If I don't agree with something, I'll let you know.
Di pa ako nakarenew kay ano ba?
They slipped into the alley.
Bawal mo palikot sila.
Ha?
Bawal palikot.
Saan?
Sila.
Bakit?
Sabi ko. Bawal pa palikot.
You won't get away with this.
Siya, bawal magpalipad dito. Pero tayo ba? Okay, walang problema.
The kid caught up to
Tawar
her
ka
a couple
kanina.
of strides.
Could be a trick to lure us into the...
Mega mega love, shout out. See you. Teka lang ha.
Lives could be in danger.
16, 17. Saglit lang ano ha. Tapusin ko lang tumugba.
They moved quickly through the night shadows. They paused at the rear corner of the building. The kid leaned over to take a look toward Main Street. Someone appeared to be
It's for Y4. Yawag pa nga ano eh. It's for Y4 man. Ha?
Haya.
Returned fire briefly before
Haya ba yan?
struck down
It's
again.
for wa.
Those muzzles-
Kay ano yan guys yun yan, di ba?
Enough for the kid to recognize Marshal Bob.
Haya ta ano dyan, basa dyan.
In the brief flash
Kasi
It's
yung
for
four kay parang A.
Although the chalk view blog
Marami ka talagang alam, di pungal ka. Pinapahirapan mo pa ako, it's for Y4.
taped by the arm and dragged him along as he ran through the passage toward his daughter and her kid.
Holly, are you all right?
I'm fine. But we've got to stop those men and
Ito pa isa, si Astro na naman tingalan niya.
The raiders had sent several men circling around to catch Porter and take him
Bundok?
alive. Those gunmen got more than they bargained for.
Astronaut.
The kid was
Wala na
Astronaut naman yung ngan po ni ate Tata. Ihahak ba ni?
rolling a hair slow.
Mano naman yung mga tao ron nga lain ng mga ngan.
Can't stay here. So charge us from the other direction.
Tayo na di si Banjilin. Ayun o.
Right behind you. Holly, keep an eye on Marshall.
Ipagaling na namo ni among mga bugas. Kala mo hindi kami magpagiling. Magpagiling kami, pampista na ning bugasa.
In the face of the fierce assault, the kid and Porter sent them on their way with a few last shots.
Holly, are you hit?
No, Papa, I'm fine.
Ay, Diyos
So is
ko.
Marshall Tate.
Cantrails here.
Isdo gari di. Sabi mo, tago mo ka mo sa igit.
I hope you get the chance to do just that, Marshal. Right now, we've got to find those hostages.
6 million people in the house.
Those men said he had them locked up in the church. You have any idea which one, Marshal Porter?
Wala man kay bugas tinarang nakuha ako sa buok.
Tag-iisa.
I know that bell.
Di atay po ning nasaag man.
That's probably where they are.
Oh,
Anything else to go? You get us
Amis mo ka. Lain na po na. Insulto mo, nag-emosyon na ara, bas banji ang gilid.
Jara bitaw.
Si banji ang puson na.
Yatay ko
Si Koy ayang miga-miga lab siya na.
Nata ka, dagdong mo rin.
I'll bring up the rig.
It was a good thing.
8 million people in the house.
Twisting, turning,
Ay, Diyos ko.
alleys and back streets. They were all alert. No
Ayaw
one
po pagingana, Sion. Marimar, Doktora, miga-miga lab siya na. Thank you so much, Doktora. Ang tagal kong hindi Ngayong December lang ako nag-umpisa mag-live, Doktora.
Mr. Morgan track, Holly. Let's go.
They resumed their trek through the shadows.
Yatay ko so grabe ka mga
O,
anak.
tingnan mo si Banjelen. Ipakita mo yung mukha mo, Banjelen. O, di ba? Ipapagaling na ng bugas si Banjelen, Doktora, parehami.
No doubt about it.
Okay lang po, kahit stress, okay lang, tawa lang. Seryoso ang giatay, 14-17 dan. Reniel Sabehon, watching here. Mega love, shout out to you, Reniel. Ayan, you have jacket na.
Dudong, mawit na.
Ate mo ata ni Celine.
Ate yan.
Thumbs up dan. Thank you so much, Clauden Hanohan.
Leave the prisoners out. They'd stand a chance. It's your decision.
Injar ka nagdong diri. Sorti pula tawo.
Ay, ginoo ko.
Grabe ka.
Magpa-entry na kayo dyan. Ang raffle niyan is December 23. Kung may mga time kayo.
On the church roof.
I can still.
Silip lang, madam, ha? On duty pa ko.
That's what he wants.
Ilan ba? Marami bang nanganak ngayon, doktora? Kay malamig man. Marami bang nabuntis ngayon?
There's no telling how many people.
Tam success si Koy Welen. Mega love, shout out, Welen.
Nobody doubts your courage, Marshal Tate, but if you surrender, you'll be thrown your life
Mag 4 AM na ako, nakatulog, tas past 10 na ako nagising. Ano bang ginawa mo? Bakit 4 AM ka na?
To get their hands on some kerosene.
Madami, sabi na eh. Yan ang sinasabi ko, doktora eh. Dapat, hindi na lang lumamig yung panahon kasi mahihirapan ka kung malamig yung panahon. Daming mga anak. Ang dami mo namang isasaryan yan. Ang dami mo na namang upirahan. Diyos ko, ginoo ko. Ay, Diyos ko, ano ba yan? Yung ibaga bata pa. Oh, mga bata pa, doktora. Ano ba hitsura pag doktora pag bata pa? Ganon pa rin hitsura noon. Danto si Ayang. Doktora, yung ano ba? Nalimutan ko may nagpapagawa pala layout para sa birthday. Jera. Invitation card. Ayun, ini-edit ha. Giatay. Yan na, sisi ko, hila pa, entry pa. Katawas yun, no? Buti na lang, mainit dito. Ay, nako, maaga-aga pa, sakit na lalamunan sa inyo, ah. Tamsak sisikoy daw na, mega-mega love, shoutout. Hindi na, oy, parehas ang hugis, mga anak. Sisikoy daw na, tinatanong ko kay doktora kung pag mga anak ba, yung bata pa mga anak, at saka yung matanda mga anak, ano ba hitsura nung ano? Sabi ni doktora, pareho lang daw ng hugis. Sabi ni doktora, pareho lang daw ng hugis. I was asking to Doc, Papa, I was asking to Doc if, you know, if your labor in young age, is it the same picture or the same, you know what I mean? Is it the same picture or the same, you know what I mean? Ay, just go. Doctora said, it's the same. That's what she said. It's the same, even if you're old. The same. That's what she said. It's the same. Even ay, just go.
Tawa siya eh. Alam, may bago ng kulong tubig.
Namamaga na hindi maintindihan ang shape. Namamaga na hindi maintindihan ang shape. Ay, Diyos ko, doktora. Napaiyak na naman kakatawa dyan. Ako, tawa si Kujuna. Sabi ni Sean, Jara. Ano? Kangilad. Ay, nako, doktora. Wala ka talaga magawa sa buhay mo.
Puro papaanak lang yan. Tawa siya dito.
Bombimban ni kami kalab siya. Tingnan mo, doktora, yung asawa ko, tawa-tawa. Pag nanganak kasi, hindi mo na nakita ang hugis ng sayo kasi namaga na. Yahoo! Kalingaw mo dire. Si doktora Bumbimban, nagpapaano? Can wait sa laro. Nagpapatawa si doktora. Marami daw siyang ngayon, pasyente. Madami daw nanganganak, mga bata pa. Sabi ko, ano ba hitsura ng bata pa at may edad na? Iisa lang ba hitsura? Sabi niya, iisa lang daw. Iisa lang ba hitsura? Sabi niya, iisa lang daw.
Isa lang daw.
Ay, Diyos ko. Iahak na si doktora. Ay. Baka mamaya yung pagod ako mo na mo, nawala pagod ko sa'yo. Baka mamaya yung pagod ako mo na mo, nawala pagod ko sa'yo. She said she's very tired, but you know, her tired was gone because the laughing hurt too much. She's very tired, but you know, Bulanong Dako Adventure Tamsak Danhos. Maraming salamat, Bulanong Dako. Bulanong Dako Adventure Tamsak Danhos. Maraming salamat, Bulanong Dako.
Basta nang kanina.
Ay, Ginoo ko, palamuot ka doon ni doktora. Ay, busy sa work host. Oh. Ay, Ginoo ko, palamuot ka doon ni doktora. Ay, yan ang sinasabi ko, malamig na. Marami ka na namang sisaryan ngayon dyan. Yan ang sinasabi ko, malamig na. Marami ka na namang sisaryan ngayon dyan. Ay, ang gawin mo ikaw, Banje, pag nanganak ka, sa akin ka ha, para ipaalam ko kay madam kung anong shape.
Atay. Ay, atay.
Isay, pwede mo kapon dire. Mo apply ko.
Ano daw?
Doktora said, if the time was you're pregnant and then your labor, you go to the hospital of Doctora, and she's the one that take her to you so that she can tell to me what is the shape, what is the shape of your thing.
Oh,
Ay, ginoo ko. Ay, doktora, magpakapon daw si Bumbimban. Ay, ginoo ko. Kinsa pwede magkapon rin, ha? Si doktora, oh. Jarat sa banisig. Dan all, ayun, dan all si ano. Apat yun. Ay, ginoo ko.
kaya pala, di na, wala reply si Kuan.
Dan 6, si Swellen. Sakit, hunti dyan, doktor, madam, dili matabang po ni ako ay pakapon na lang nako. Ay, madam, kaloka, nawala ang gutom ko. Kaya kapunan mo daw yan si Bumbimban, doktora. Hello, Dok. Ayan si Doktora Bumbimban. Ano yan, yung nag-uupira ng mga cesarean, ang tawag yan? Hindi, bigay yun eh. Hindi, ano ba, pedya ba tawag yan? Yung nag-uupira ng mga anak, ang tawag yan? Kaya lang, naiihi ako sa kakatawa.
Basta doktora pa rin yan.
Lifting is called. The kid tracked the juggies and flew through the air.
Bigay.
The can burst apart, spraying kerosene all over Cantrell, and the
Ay, madam, kaloka, nawala gutom ko.
church. One day, it is gone.
Hindi ka na nagre-reply sa akin, madam. Madam, doktora.
It's all it took to make the other outlaws hesitate about pulling their triggers. The man who set his arm on fire fell to the ground, igniting more of the kerosene. Porter and Holly quickly burst out of the alley and split up.
Ubigay ni nga pala, ubigay ni, ayun. Yan, ay ubigay ni Bumbimban. Ay, sa'yo, Bumbimban siyo. Anong pakaon? Anong pakaon, le? Ano ba yan? Ano sabi mo siyan? Pasensya na banji, busy ang lula mo. Pakapon. Ano daw yung pakapon? Yung pakapon ba? Yung paputla ng imong kuan para mawala tong si Milya. Ellen T. Hello bro, mega love shout out to you mom. Ellen T. Hindi ako makaintindi Bisaya guys ha. Silungga yan si doktora guys. Silungga gina sina. Okay po. Gusto mo magpakapon? Wala ka pang ang lahi? Magpakapon ka na? 11 million people in the house. Thank you so much.
Magpakapon daw.
Ay, gano'n. Kapon, di ba, inaalisan yun sa lalaki? Yes. Sisi ko, tinatanggal yung nilalabasan ng laway. tinatanggal yung laway, sisi ko eh. Tama ba ko, doktora? Tinatanggal yung nilalabasan ng laway. Galisod ko doon. Galisod ko doon. Nga nang motoskik na gayon. Bisan ano na? Bisan sutsutan. Rani Commander, hago na. Agoy. At luka. Ay, ginawa ko.
Buti na nalayo anak.
Buti na malayo anak ko. Buisit ka Bumbimban. Ginoo. Sakit na garapihan eh. Kunin mo nga yung damit. Ginoo ko. Hala, pa-entry mo na tayo eh. Ginoo ko. Teka lang. Baka bigla magtanong sa akin. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung sagot ko. Ay, Diyos ko. Puntahan nyo na yung 6-2. Ano guys? Hagua. Diyos Julia. Di atay. Sakit, kuto-kuto. 6, 7. Ginoo ko. Uy, madam. Maghukos din ka. Kanina pa ako nag-antay ng lapag dyan. Guwa. Sakit, yung putok-putok, tumawan. Habol yung iba dyan kasi nauna si Sikoy Jaswell kaya magbaba lang ako tapos andyan naman nakapin naman yung dyan. Habulin nyo lang.
Ano to? Hindi na yung gamit eh.
17.
Ano to? Yan, huwag na din sila magamit. Bulit-bulit, no?
Ay, nako, doktora. Bilisan mo yung inoperahan mo dyan at bumalik ka dito at magtawanan ulit tayo.
Dahil mo to? Ako, kumakuha isa.
Sakit ang kutok-kutok, tumawa.
Hindi yan, gahi. Gahi. Hindi kasi.
Ay, Diyos ko.
Dapat naman talaga matigas to eh. Ang tawag ng sunscreen? Ay, hindi na siya.
Break time ako muna, oy. Break time pala.
Ano to?
Nag-break time pala si doktora, guys. Mamaya baka may opera ka mamaya tapos sabay tawa ka ng tawa dyan. Naiisip mo yung tawanan natin. Ay, Diyos ko. Namula dyan yung tao na humatag, kumatawa. Hindi, dito ko lang nilagay.
Sounds like you're telling me to get out of town.
Since you're going to be leaving anyway,
I understand.
now, Jared, on the other hand,
Hangat maninim katawar ta.
he's a fine hombre. He's been my help around here. I know he's got to get back home.
Maybe his daughter will bring
Kain tayo. Sige, sige doktora. Salamat.
He's already got
Pirahin na lang yung amin.
I'm afraid you're right about that.
Mamuot ra punta mo sige ra tag pangatawa ini.
What are you doing?
Getting ready to ride. Marshall Tate and I still need to get to Wichita.
You weren't going to tell me? You were just going to
Mark is saldan, madam. Asa raman tong uban. Tika lang. Natabunan kasi. Tika lang. Ano ko na. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Ayun.
You can't promise it either.
I don't like to make promises if I don't know whether I can keep them. Sort of go where the wind takes me these days.
Like some down now hero?
More than you know.
So, ba't hindi pa pumalit yung nakapin? Ayun.
Ano doon ulam?
Ano? Buwad. Dahil daghang buwad, are. Doktora. Buwad na, anong tawag dito? Puset, tilapia, tsaka tuyo. Yun ang tinda ko dito eh. 8 million people in the house, nakikinig lang yung 8 million, no? Hindi nagpa-entry, nakikinig lang. Ay, Diyos ko, ginoo ko. 9 million, thank you so much sa 9 million natin dyan. Dan, 6 and 9. Ayun.
There. I wanted you to know where you were running away from.
Dan DJ, ayun.
Wichita was a big town, but they like New York.
6 and 9 si Sikoy, so meaning 10 to hindi siya nag-ano.
Wichita was a real metropolis.
Yan, pahabol natin si Sikoy.
And given Bertha Edwards' address to the kid back in Copperhead Springs,
18 to 21 si Sikoy. Ayan na, susunod, bumbimban yung ano.
it was lined with cottonwoods. The kid and Marshall Tate rode along looking for the Edwards house. It was a nice neighborhood. The sort of place where normal families live. At least, that's what the kid thought. To be sure, he reminded himself, because he'd never been part of a normal family.
Parang pumayat ka.
His mother had been one of the richest women
Pumayat ng konti, doktora. Ano lang? Ilang kilo pinayat ko di? Dito ha.
Ako sa Manara, anak. Ano ka na ngayon?
Sinta ko noon eh. Ngayon 73 and a half. Kaya nga 6 and a half kilos ang pinayat ko. Tiyan na lang malaki eh. O nga no, pumayat nga ng konti na. Kita na pala dito. Ang iniinom ko lang doktora ano, ito lang oh. Ito lang, umaga. Walang ibang iniinom kundi ito lang, yung lemon. Panay dumi ka nga lang. Hindi to pwede sa'yo kasi kapag mag-upira ka, nadudumi ka. Dan 15. 11 million people in the house. Thank you so much, guys. Teka lang, ibalik ko muna yung ano, bumimban ha. Baka hindi ka pa nakapunta kay Daston Live. Lagyan nyo ng mayang yung dulo, guys ha. Baka mamaya, guys, ay binukod ko pa naman yung entry. Kasi yung iba kasi nagko-comment, walang nilalagay na mayang.
Mr. Morgan?
That's right, man.
I got a wire from Marshall Cumberland in Copperhead Springs saying you were bringing my father home. Come on in, I suppose.
Thank you. Let's go, Marshall.
All right.
Sige, doktora.
Can I get you something, Mr. Morgan? Some coffee?
Pag nanganak ako, doktora, dyan ako manganak ha. Libre yan, sigurado.
Go ahead and sit down.
When Bertha had left the room and the kid and
Pag nanganak ako ba?
the old woman leaned over. She keeps calling it Papa.
That's because she
Libre CS.
Marshall, you need to try harder.
Sige, kaya ako panaginip, nanganak ako, buang siguro. Ano yun? Nanganak daw ako, ang laki na daw ng bata. Sige ba? Hindi, sige lang ako panaginip. Ano ba yan?
Bertha came back into the room.
Malakas, manood, asawa mo nga. Kaya nga eh.
Then sat down on the sofa across from them.
Kusog kayo yung
Thank
tingog.
you for bringing
Yung
him
kuwan.
home, Mr. Morgan. I can't tell you how worried I've been about you.
Yes, ma'am.
Ha?
I'm sure.
Did you have any trouble along the way? I expected you to be here sooner.
Tapos na yung ano mo, Manuel?
Nothing to worry about, though. Your father is fine.
Ara?
He's not fine. He'll never be fine. Not the way he is
Mamaya,
now.
pagtapos nito, pag hindi mo pa matapos, patay ka talaga sa akin.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't let that
Kanina pa
happen.
naghintay. Bakit saan ka kaganina? Bakit hindi mo
I
pinalis ka
can
dito?
pay you for your time and trouble getting me here. My husband doesn't make a great deal of
Mag-aral.
money. He's a clerk in a law office, but we have a little set
Kanino na
aside.
ba ako
That's not
kanina?
necessary at all.
Ano number na yun? 21?
I was glad to have your father's company on the trail.
Kid, when are we leaving? We need to get back to Copperhead
Tapos
Springs.
na ko kay
You're
Bro
not going
Martin.
back to Copperhead Springs. You
Saan na
don't
ba
live
yung
there
ano,
anymore.
papel para-
Mama's dead. You could remember that if you just tried.
Jake blinked at the rebuke, obviously confused.
Again, I'm sorry, Mr. Morgan. I'm glad to see him. I really am.
Yung
and I'm
pera mo na,
grateful to see
unahin
him.
ko eh. Kaya
He's
rin.
just so damn frustrating.
Yes, ma'am.
The kid would rather face another horde of rampaging outlaws than deal with a situation like that. He set the cup on a small side table and stood up.
I should be going.
Wait up, kid. I'll come with you.
Sorry, Marshall, but
22,
you have to stay here.
I don't want to.
It'll be fine. Your
23.
daughter will take good care of you.
I won't
Ano,
let you run
lumipat
off
na
again
sila
and
doon
scare
sa
us
kabila.
after that, that's for sure.
I don't understand.
Parang pinaintrigan ko na kasi.
Bertha stood up and strode across the room
Lipat
to
ako
take
sa
hold
ibang
of
ano.
father's arm.
Come with me. I'll take you to your room, and you'll stay there this time. Do you understand that?
She glanced at the kid.
Thanks again.
Sure.
24.
You can let yourself out.
Wala na talaga
He
sila.
stepped out onto the porch and eased the door closed behind him. Going down those steps,
Ano
walking
na
back
mag
and
isda,
forth
eh.
was one of the hardest things the kid ever done.
Nag-cook ayong isda ni
most
Inday.
outlaws would be
Irene?
welcome right now. You could even throw in an Apache war party. Just about anything.
The kid was still worried he'd done the wrong thing by leaving Tate and his daughters, and someone knocked on the door of his hotel room that evening. When the kid opened the door,
Bakit?
a man he had never seen before standing in the corridor. The
Bakit
man
si
wore a
Sikoy?
tweed suit and had a mustache, bushy side whiskers, and a hairy look about him.
Yam!
Mr. Morgan? That's right.
May pumunta ba sa bahay mo, Yam? Kasi binaba ko kaganina.
My father-in-law is Jared Tate.
Of course. How do you do, Mr. Edwards?
Not too well right now. Have you seen Jared?
Not since leaving him with your wife at your house.
Salamat sa pagtambay-tambay pa, BG, Yam. Dito pa mi, ha.
He's run away again. My wife claims she was watching him the whole time, but somehow he got out of the house and disappeared.
Have you gone to the police? He could have gotten far.
Well, he took his horse with him. Bertha searched the neighborhood, but by then...
Sa kuan, Yam, sa katigbian.
He was about to smile and managed not to. He was sort of pleased to take him to the shop.
Saan ba ito galing damit? Ang katupito mo, eh. Diyan ang katupi to.
Wandering around by himself.
Mani.
We thought maybe he might have come here since the two of you seem to be friends.
We rode some tough trails together, that's true. But I haven't seen him. You wouldn't have known where I was staying anyway.
No, I guess not.
Sa katigbian mi, Yam, ikaw, taga saan ka?
And when they do, I'm afraid we're not going to have any choice but to lock him up.
Talibon ka? Ah, talibon.
This happening all the time.
Hold on.
Talibon.
He's got it in his head.
Muragwa pa ko kadung, ana, dapita man.
Maybe he headed for there again, like he did before.
That makes sense. But we still have to find him.
Of course.
Asam na,
I'll
giyon ang
start
talibon.
trailing him at first light.
You really think you can pick up his trail?
I know the way to Copperhead.
Doon kami sa kuan, sa bayan pik, amo adoor.
I can catch up to him. I don't think he can travel through the night. He probably stopped and made camp. He'll be a few miles ahead of me, but it shouldn't take more than a day or two to close that gap.
But in the meantime, something could happen to him. I don't want my wife put through that.
You can go to the authorities here, of course. It's probably a good idea. They can search here in town, but I don't think they'll find him. My hunch is he's somewhere out on the trail, like he would have been in the old days.
Thank you.
Layo inyo nga, oh, layo.
Morgan. I can pay you for your help.
Like I told your wife, just forget about that. Marshall Tate saved my life twice. I'm glad to do anything I can to give him a hand.
It's funny the way you
Katuod
call
ka,
Marshall Tate.
hitape.
He hasn't been a
Wa pa
law
po ko kadung anang hitape.
I reckon
Layuan
Tate
naman ron.
will always be along
Ako kadung ana.
Isla na.
inside.
Ha?
Isla.
Isla na hitape.
Classmate ako dati. Sibo. Classmate mo.
The kid left at first light in the
Dagat.
morning, heading west out of Wichita on the road that would eventually turn into the trail leading to Copperhead Springs. He had no way of knowing for sure that Tate had gone that way, but it certainly seemed likely.
Wa ko kadung naman arang madung adu-aro.
And it was telling him he would find Tate by going in that direction.
May dagat doon eh.
About 10 miles west of town, he found something supporting his theory. The
Talaga.
sun was lighting off the road to a small pond where someone had camped the night before. If he could see where the traveler had built a fire, he dismounted and hovered on his heels to study the hoof prints left by the horse that had been picketed nearby. He thought they looked like the prints left by the horse Marshall Tate had been riding for the past few weeks. The ashes
Trinidad.
of the cold
Samot zugwa ko kadung ana kadungog ra ko ana sa Tagbilaran kanang Trinidad. Nindot na ang Talibon, may city na next year. Wow.
Bakit di mo yun? Sige, yung talibot ka?
Hindi ko nga alam, hindi pa nga ako kapunta dyan eh. Ako po yung mapungutan noon.
Alam ko kasi ano.
Pero karon namin diri nagpuyo si Sikoy sa Bulacan. Lipat-lipat ako. Sige lang si Sikoy, naka-laptop ka naman dyan eh.
The successful farmers had been able to afford to build real houses with lumber, and most of the so-called soddies had been abandoned. Given the materials of which they were constructed, it was no surprise many of them had collapsed, going back to the earth from which they had sprung.
Dool mi sa Sagbayan.
Soddies were still
Yan, dool amo ana Sagbayan.
The kid noted smoke coming from the chimney of one of them, a couple of hundred yards north of the trail. His keen eye spotted something else, and he reined in. The horse was tied to a hitching post in front of the homestead, and unless the kid was mistaken, it was the same animal Marshall Tate had been riding.
Tate must have stopped here at this farm.
The kid swung the buckskin toward the soddy. He hoped they had treated him kindly. As he came closer and got a better look at the horse, he was certain it belonged to Tate. The chore had turned out to be considerably easier than he'd expected. He could have Tate back in Wichita by nightfall if they hurried. A frown creased the kid's forehead as that thought crossed his mind. Did he really want to take Tate back to his daughter's house? That was what he'd set out to do, of course, when he agreed to accompany the old lawman from Copperhead Springs back to Wichita. But he had carried out that task. His responsibility was
Mala ata hindi pumunta
it
tita
sure as hell
maragas niya.
wasn't his job to make Tate stay somewhere he didn't want to stay. What else
Ilagay mo
was
kaya yung mga ninja ko yung ganbit sa cellphone. Dito ka maudod.
Sometimes
Kalimutan ko kapon, ma-request dito oh.
Something was
Alam,
bound to happen
dyan,
to
dito.
Diyan, tsaka dito, yung iba ba, para malipat-lipat ko pag may ano ko ba.
the idea of Tate spending
Naay, gailis karon alas 6 sa tanan taga Bohol. At mo aron makaila nimo sila tanan. Magkuhos ko didto.
Bertha Edwards might actually love her father.
Dagang price ipanghatag. Unsa may ngan sa iyang kuan.
Never had to walk in her shoes. He couldn't judge her, but he didn't know if he'd take Tate back to her either.
Ikuan ko dire o, message mo ko dire o. Ay, dire ko nimo i-message o. I-message ko din ha. Yan yung ano ko. I-message ko diha niya, tanaw na ko unya. Dito is butang. Pag message.
He leaned forward in the saddle and rode his heels into the buckskin's flanks to send the horse leaping ahead. At the same time, he drew his colt up close.
Butangin ra nag ninja, wala ninja kasi.
Two moonshiners he and Tate had encountered on the trail from Copperhead.
O sige, si Sikoy, walang problema si Sikoy.
The kid left the saddle on a rolling dive and carried him off to the side of the Sadi's entrance. The rifle swayed.
Si Sikoy Annalyn, miga love shout out.
Winchester. Tilting his gun barrel, the kid aimed, but the wounded rifle.
Ilagay mo nga ninja, walang ninja kasi pang mga cellphone kaya hindi ako makabukas Delicades. Ilagay mo nga ninja para mabuksan ko yung mga ano binaba nila. Salamat si Sikoy sa tamsak. Dan 18 to 21 di si Bombimban. Ay, mauman ni katong akong gitanaw gani ha.
Don't pay attention to what those two polecats say. They're not gonna hurt me. They go real swing for it if they do. You better not listen to them, Morgan.
Nawa sa man yun, katakataka rin. Suwat.
Do like I told you.
Unin mo yan.
We'll let the old man live.
The kid didn't believe that for a second. The men intended to kill both of them.
Kalang ha. Sino ba sunod? Si Irene, si meron pang isang ano si Ma'am Julie. Pira mo na ayaw nang una ko binababa. Si Julie. Mano ka nang di man sa Cebu lang isang.
It sounds to me like you're the one who's dying, amigo. I hit you pretty hard, didn't I?
Oh,
Hang on long
inis
enough to get your revenge.
talaga. Hirap kaya kunin yung ano niya.
I don't think so. I think you're losing blood. You're going to pass out soon. Benny's not a killer. I remember that from when we met before. As soon as you're gone, he's going to surrender because he doesn't want to hang.
Mano mo niya nga, di man siya gawas o.
I want you to snap that old man's neck. Bring it back to us.
Nag ano na din si ate? Na, di ko kay bao. Waman po siya mo message na o Grand LS na rin siya.
The roof was bound with and weakened by the elements. The beams were probably rotten. The kid braced himself for a second and then jumped, coming down as hard as he could near where the
Sige,
stovepipe chimney
dagdagan mo pa kalat yan o. Pinupinuhin mo lahat, pinupinuhin mo.
flashed out, taking the kid with it. Selma was struggling to get up from under the collapsed roof. He thrust the rifle.
Wadyo ko magdaho mo.
The kid surged up.
Umana na yung kay bao rin.
Benny's hands locked.
Waman po siya mo ingon ako, basic ko ganihan, nagkuan ko buwan.
He had no other choice.
Dan si Sikoy Annalyn sa ano, Danwan.
The old lawman
Kana ako agi baba na balay mauna mag-Grand LS niya. Mao na imo ha?
Never better. I wasn't sure how that was gonna turn out, though.
28.
Those boys were local.
That they were. Are you ready to go home, Marshall?
Nag-iwan ka manata ng baka sa akin ano para maanuhan kita mamaya. Bawal kasi diretso pasok pagka bagong pagtapos ng LS ko mamaya pa ako para mabalikan kita mamaya ba.
Well, I didn't expect
Naa ka sa buhulag puyo ron kuan.
It turns out
Yam.
Marshall Tate needs a place to stay.
28, 29.
The way you were talking when we were here before, I thought you might have a job.
Ito.
What about
Huh?
his daughter? I already sent her a wire letting her know that he's safe and he'll be looked after.
Oh, pwede rin yan. Ilagay mo rin yung gula na mayang to. Tapos meron pa dyan. Oh, bisakol.
Did I stay here with you, Marshall?
Of
Oh.
course you can. We'll be glad to have you.
Hindi ko kamao mabutang ko. Ayan, si Annalyn. Tapos na si Kuya Annalyn sa isa.
Why don't you go on into the
Tapos
office?
si Bumbimban, 18 to 21.
Be seeing you, kid.
Hasta la vista, Marshall.
Kasi nagtipo-tipo ka diri ha.
Ano
Tingnan.
tipo abi?
Iusod mo nga yan doon.
It's
Uway,
the law
kung
from Wichita
lagi
that
pa'y
we
bata
don't have to
makaintindi eh.
kidnap an old man.
Alam ko nga yan eh.
I heard back from the marshal's daughter before we ever came here.
Ano yung bisa ko ko? Ano yung kanang lagyo mo?
But she came around.
Kung anong gasuwat anak mo na.
She knows he'll be better off here, and she wants what's best for him. She said she can't pay you for looking after him, though.
Oh, shoot, I don't want any pay. There's still a good man in there. I'll be glad to have you around.
The kid nodded, but knew he was going to have Claudius Turnbuckle send a regular bank draft to Marshall Porter. Jared Tate would be looked after for the rest of his life and would be able to spend his days in a place where he was happy.
Si Turudjak.
Where's Holly?
She's at the house.
Buhak-hak. Wala ng tao, gibahak.
I'm not sure that would be a good idea. She'll be mad as a hornet if she finds out you were here and didn't
Sakit.
even say hello.
Puto-puto.
She'll get over it. Anyway, I've got places to be.
Oh, where's that?
Yonder.
He waved a hand. It was gone. Riding out and talk mute. Not sure where he was going next, but satisfied with knowing he was moving on. Answering the call of the frontier while it still existed in the hearts
Stop.
and minds of the men and women. of
Stop.
the world.
Bumbimban. Dan one mami. Yun. Ikay kulit.
Sino ba to? Sino din ba?
Oh, dan one.
Oh, ito kay parents pala ko eh. Parents.
Di, oh, wala dyan. Wala kay Terence Lawrence. Lagay mo rin dyan. 30. Sa isang sponsor, guys, 4 na video ang binababa ko.
Ano mo?
Ha? Meron pang isa ah.
Ano pangalan?
Hayaan mo na. Hayaan mo na. Okay na yan. Para makaano ako 31. Kasi walang nanonood guys, kaya dinamihan ko na pagbaba. Para magkaroon ng walang nanonood sa akin. 32. Makahiya naman sa nagpapa-sponsor. Ulit talaga nitong
Ano ba yan?
ay, Diyos ko, Ginoo ko. Maigi pa'y batang may buot mo badlong kaysa damulag.
Graphic audio.
Yan, si Bumbimban, nalista mo na.
Graphic audio presents
Diyos ko, Ginoo ko. Lakasan mo pa, lakasan mo pa.
Those Chins and Boys by William W. Johnstone with J.A. Johnstone.
26-29.
Shelby. With performances by
Kaluoy, ni Mayang, dalawa lang yung tao nanood.
Colleen Delaney, James Conachat,
Pagka makaalis sa tong asawa ko, full na na ako. Kasi ako makaano ngayon hanggat hindi pa makaalis, gawa ng may problema pa kami. Wala pa sa utak ko yung
Alyssa Wilman, Elizabeth Jernigan, Andy Clements, Michael Glenn, Scott McCormick, David Jordan, Eric Mesner, James
Okay na yan, no?
Lord Shelby, Rose Elizabeth Supan, Ken Jackson, and Michael John Casey.
Makabawi din ako sa inyo. Araw at gabi ako magla-live at saka mag-support.
1885.
Ngayon pa lang kaya hindi pa tapos problema namin, hindi mo na ako yung nag-iikot. Nag-live lang ako para mawala yung mga pula-pula sa ano ko.
Dugo,
Diniregla kasi yung whitey ko eh.
And the trouble it might bring. Except on your leg. He sat back easily in his chair, smile on his face as he regarded the cars in front of him. They had 2 jacks and a 9 showing. He picked up some greenbacks from the pile next to him and tossed them into the center of the table with the rest of the pile. See that 20? Raised it. The game had drawn quite a bit of attention. Men who'd been drinking at the bar or at other tables drifted over to see how the hand was going to play out. Looks like it's down to you.
Siguro yung aircon dyan, hindi ko na yan dadalhin sa kabilang bahay.
Didn't mean any
Kung sino uupay, paggamit ko na lang sa kanila or ibenta ko.
seemed to be paying no attention at all. Stood at the bar with the beer he'd been nursing.
Kasi magbili ako ng ano eh, ng flip top. Ano ba yun? Yung gano'n? Oo.
Sandy hair under his
Ganun na daw gamit. Lakasan mo Manuel yung sounds. Copyright na nga to eh. Sa tawagis eh.
remarkable about it, except the span of his broad shoulders. He took another sip of beer and kept his back to what was going on in the rest of the room. Harrington's pile of winnings was considerably smaller than that of the young man. He hesitated and picked up some bills and added them to
Costoras Interesantes. Mega mega love shout out to you ma'am. Costoras, Merry Christmas. Baba nga natin yung bahay ni Ma'am Costoras.
nervous-looking dealer who just happened to be the owner.
Ayan na pala, nagbaba na pala si Ma'am Costoras. 5 million people in the house. Thank you so much, guys.
Still heard Jack show. With expert skill, he flipped the next card in the deck to Harrington.
7. Go help the mayor. Still has a pair of queens.
We can all see that blasted. Who the hell picks up a pop like that and allows a pair of jacks? It's not good enough to beat me, you know it.
I thought we'd already been introduced. The name's Chance. Chance was in his mid-20s. He was handsome, clean-shaven.
Pulpak na ano ay si sino nga ba yung kaninang taga ano? Taga Buhon. Kanina yung pumasok. Poknat, mega mega love, shout out Poknat. Just will 30 to 33 done.
A damn tin-horn gambler who should have been run out of town by now.
Wow, very beautiful si Ma'am Costoras Interesantes. Very, very beautiful.
They've seen it with their own eyes. Now, reckon I'm all in.
You have very nice bra, Ma'am. Lot of bra, selling bra, very nice.
Started across the room toward the poker table. He was the same age as Chance, but bigger and huskier, with a thatch of ruffled dark hair. He wore denim trousers and a pullover buckskin shirt. His black hat hung from behind his head from its chin strap. A Colt Peacemaker rode in a holster on his right
Kumusta,
hip.
host?
A couple of
Okay lang si Koy, ganun pa rin. Hindi pa rin naka ano. Ganun pa rin ang buhay ni Mayang.
Hey, you know better than that. You don't go interrupting a fellow when he's in the middle of the game.
Oh, it's all right. Those cars stay right where they are, though.
Of course, Chance stood up, and he and his brother Ace moved a few feet away from the table. What the hell are you doing? I've got the mayor down there. I want it.
I heard over at the general store that you got in the game. The mayor's crooked as a dog's hind leg. Those are his hired guns around the table. You can take that bottle, but he'll never let you be found. That fellow over at the general store likes to gossip. Seems like Harrington's got everyone around here under his thumb, and some folks don't like it.
Well, that's just too bad. I haven't done anything wrong, and I'm not going to throw in my hand now. That's what you want, isn't it? You want me to quit. What would Doc think if I did that?
I wouldn't want you getting killed over a poker game.
I don't know about that. Seems like he always knew what was important in life.
Are you going to play or go with your brother all day?
Why, I'm going to play, of course, Mr. Mayor. I believe the bet was to you. Chance settled back.
Salamat si Sikoy Poknat.
Stood a few feet away, looking worried.
And I'm going to
Wala na
call
tao.
you impudent young pup. I'm not going to let you bluff me.
Harrington pushed all his remaining money into the pile at the center of the table.
I'll have to give you a marker for the rest.
Well, I don't know. Of course I'll take your market, Mr. Harrington.
The mayor turned over his hold card, which was an 8.
My queens beat your jacks.
Yeah, but they don't beat my jacks and my threes. Two pairs always beats one pair. I believe you mentioned something about a marker.
You think you're so damn smart.
The two men who tried to stop Ace from talking to his brother.
Ang ganda ng mga pante ni Ma'am, ano,
Tough-looking hombre.
on the way.
Lesson them dump them somewhere outside of town.
Ni Ma'am
Make sure
Costoras.
they understand they never come back here.
Well, wait just a minute. Are you saying you're not going to pay up, Harrington?
I don't honor debts to a cheater.
It was a square deal.
I'm done to you, Ma'am Costoras.
You Welshing like this.
Why the hell would I?
My second account is Terence Lawrence.
They all know I run this town.
Harrington jetted curtly, and his hired tough started closing in around Ace and Chance. The sandy-haired man who'd been standing at the bar, seemingly paying no attention whatsoever to what was going on, turned around then.
Hold it right there, Chance.
You don't want to get mixed up in this, stranger.
Yeah, you're right. I am a stranger here. So I don't care if you're the mayor, and I don't care if these hombres who think they're tough work for you. I don't like to see you getting up with young fellas.
The stranger stood beside Ace and Chance.
We don't just think we're tough, mister. We'll prove it if we have to.
I reckon you'll have to.
Get 'em!
5 men charged forward. 2 headed for the stranger, 2 for Ace, and 1 lunged at Chance and threw a looping punch. Chance ducked under the blow and skipped in.
Ay, grade 12 ba to, Manuel? Ano to, Manuel? Ano ito?
A few feet away,
Meeting daw Saturday, 6 p.m.
2 men. One of them
December
grabbed
11.
the waist and drove it back into the ball. Gritted. The other man closed in, but his
Basahin mo dito, halika.
poised to deliver a vicious beat.
Ano, may meeting.
Hung on to Ace. Ace threw his weight back
4:30 to
into the
6
man
p.m.
and raised both legs, bending his knees. He straightened them in a double kick that slammed
During
into the chest of the
guardian,
man
ito na po
coming
yung...
at him. The move also threw the man holding Ace off balance. His
Ay,
grip
naku.
slipped
Wala yun
over
po.
Ace's
Meeting lang yan sa mga
elbow
parents.
back into his belt. As the man let go entirely, Ace whirled and planted his right fist in the middle of the opponent's face. While that was going on, the broad-shouldered stranger dealt with the 2 men attacking him. Moving almost too fast for the eye to follow, his hand shot out, grabbed each man by the throat. With the corded muscles in his shoulders and arms bunching, he smashed their heads together with comparative ease. Clearly furious at seeing his man defeated.
Kanino nga yung binaba ko? Hindi Vizcana.
Short-barreled revolver from under
Sunod
his
si
coat.
Bumbinban.
He started to lift the gun, only to stop short as he found himself staring down the barrels of 3 revolvers. Ace, Chance, and the stranger each had drawn a weapon with breathtaking speed. Chance's gun coming from a shoulder holster under his coat. All it would take to blow Harrington to hell was a slight bit of pressure on the trigger.
34, 37 done, hehehe.
Hand opened wide. He dropped the revolver.
Please, don't shoot. Don't kill me.
Seems pretty foolish for anybody to
Tiyaga lang si Sikoy, ganun talaga buhay. Magtiyaga-tiyaga lang tayo kahit walang taong nanood. Kahit ikaw lang si Sikoy.
Oh, of course.
He beat me. Tell him, not me.
You want fair and square.
That means the cop's mine.
Well, certainly.
Chance replaced his gun in the shoulder holster, then began gathering up the bills and stuffing them
I'm
into
done
the
to you,
inside
Ma'am.
pocket of his coat.
I'll make up that mark.
Costoras.
What's here on the
40,
table?
41.
My brother and I are leaving, and I'm just to see him not have to come back with his bird to collect.
That's very generous of you.
I'd advise you fellas to
Oo.
sell horses.
Hindi naman ako magtatagal, 5 o'clock. Ano na ako, off na ako.
Just to make sure the mayor doesn't get any ideas about sending his men after you to recover his money.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, a fella can't be too
Saka hindi naman yun,
There you go.
kaya talon-talon ako, hahaha. Hindi naman yun agad-agad din mag-start.
Smoke, Chance.
Ace and Chance exchanged a glance when they heard the name. But they didn't say anything else as they made their way around.
Ako, aalis pa ako pagtapos ko ng live.
When they left the place, they headed straight for the livery
Umupo ka dito,
stable.
Banji.
Headed out of the cell.
Marites ka talaga eh.
They looked the town.
Marites!
And honest to goodness legend stepped in to give us a hand, eh?
Yeah. You keep talking about him, but I never really figured we'd run into him someday.
You reckon we should have told him that our last name is Jensen too?
Hey,
Shoot, we might be long
hey,
lost
why you such a
relatives.
pervert?
I doubt that. You gotta take a couple of down there like drifters like us could be related to the famous smoke pigeons.
You never know. Stranger things have happened, I reckon. Anyway, we're not down on our luck right now. We're as lucky as we've been for a while. Let's go see what's on the other side of the mountain, brother.
Denver, Colorado territory. 18.
My brother and I are leaving, and I just assume not the mayor doesn't get
Made their way around the unconscious man on the saloon floor. When they left the place, they headed straight for the livery stable and headed out of the cell.
Ng tao.
Soon they put the town behind.
smoke Jensen. We had an honest to goodness legend step in to give us a hand, Ace.
Yeah. You keep talking about him, but I never really figured we'd run into him someday.
You reckon we should have told him that our last name is Jensen too? Shoot, we might be long lost relatives.
I doubt that. You really think a couple of down there like drifters like us could be related to the famous smoke pigeons?
You never know. Stranger things have happened, I reckon. Anyway, we're not down on our luck right now. We're as lucky as we've been for a while. Let's go see what's on the other side of the mountain, brother.
Denver, Colorado territory, 1861.
Jack's over 10s, gents.
And it's Monday laid down his car.
I believe that takes this.
Hey, gummit, Doc. You're just too good at this game.
That's how I make my living, Mr. Tucker. Being good at what I do.
Yeah, I don't begrudge you.
Alfred Tucker slid a small leather pouch full of gold nuggets across the table to the gambler.
Everybody in Denver knows that Doc Monday's a square player.
I appreciate that. Another hand, gentlemen?
Looks to me like you might have something more interesting to turn your hand to, Doc. That lady over there's been watching you mighty keenly for the past few minutes.
Monday had been concentrating on his cards, or he would have noticed the woman. As he
Dun,
met her
dun,
out
dun,
across the
dun.
room now, she started toward him. She was a little on the short side, dark-haired and curvy. Most of the females who ventured into this establishment in Denver's red light district were no better than they had been. But this young brunette had a certain air of respectability to her.
Just coming over here. Doc, you got an admirer, all right.
I believe I'll sit out the next hand. Best of luck.
Monday gave the man at the table a friendly nod and then moved to meet the woman coming toward him.
Excuse me, would you happen to be Mr. Innes Monday?
You have the advantage of me.
Hahaha.
I indeed
Dapat makalami-lami ako, hahaha. Kaya nga eh.
I'm pleased to meet you, Mr. Monday. My name is Lady Margaret.
Marami kang entry doon. Si Koy, wala akong entry doon kay Inday Janice eh.
Perhaps if we could sit down at the table where it's quiet.
We're in a saloon, ma'am. There's only a certain level of privacy and decorum we can hope to obtain. However,
That said, he gestured toward an empty table in the corner.
let's try there.
Once they were seated, Monday took a better look at the woman. She was dressed in a decent traveling outfit, but it wasn't anything fancy or expensive.
Pasulpot-sulpot ka lang din.
You obviously know who I am. Were you given a description of me?
That's right. An old friend of yours told me to look you up. Bill Ross.
Natatawa ako ba yung last na ibababa ko sa'yo at saka kay ano, ang tawag dito kay
She provided me with a
Ate
letter.
Miles.
A letter.
Sabi ko, entryhan mo yung sarili mo.
The same line of work as them?
Ay, Diyos ko,
Looking into
yaha.
that game here in Denver? I must say, with all due respect to Belle, you don't really look the sort.
We were friends back in the town where I come from in Missouri. That's all. I taught school there and helped there by tutoring her with her own reading.
I see. Belle always did enjoy improving her mind.
About this letter.
Of course.
Letty reached in her handbag and brought it out.
Here.
43.
Monday unfolded the page.
Madami bang nag-run LS ngayon?
Written in Bell Rob's extravagant hand. His expression grew more solemn.
Sinong kasabay ni Inday Janice?
Margaret, and my sympathy as well. I didn't realize your husband was dead. And he was killed in the very first battle of the war that way.
Dagkuha po sa eggplant eh.
Tragic.
Ate
You can
Miles.
understand why I wanted to leave. I had to get away for long.
Marami din.
Bitter memories. Belle suggested I might come to Denver and make a fresh start.
She thought I could help you there.
She said that
Kakasunod
you were a good man,
araw-araw.
Mr. Monday. And she said you were treating me well.
My God. You're not thinking that I'll marry you, are you?
Di pagitan. Oh, ang galing mo naman.
No, marriage isn't necessary.
Di nakarami ka na si Sikoy.
And perhaps a job.
I spend practically all my time at school. All the jobs I have and women aren't what you call respectable. They're not anything a former school teacher would want to do.
Perhaps a former school teacher who is desperate enough for it.
Well, my, you are plain spoken.
Habol ka na lang. Yung mga iba kasi dyan, dami ng entry. Ilang months na ako nagpa-entry. Tagal na.
I'll tell you what. I have a room in the
Ikaw, ilang ano ka na nagpa-entry sa akin. Araw na.
You can stay there for now. I'm not suggesting anything.
Kikay, dami talagang entry sa akin. Simula sa pool. Ngayon lang yan wala. Kasi umakyat siguro yan doon sa ano.
You can go beyond plain spoken and blunt. But I don't mind.
Hindi ko alam. Baka mayroon pang nag-live iba.
To be honest.
Ah, si Tintin. Nag-live atas Tintin.
See if I can find something for you to do. Agreed?
Agreed.
We have a deal. I hope you knew what Bill was letting you in for.
Yes. Salvation.
And as Monday was good as his word, for which Letty was exceedingly grateful. He allowed her to stay in his room at the boarding house without ever making any improper advances, and he found her a job keeping the books for a store on Colfax Avenue. Her knowledge of arithmetic gained from being a teacher came in very handy. Within a few weeks of her arrival in Denver,
Ah, sige, ito pa entry si
two
ate, oh.
things began to be obvious.
Makatawa
One
siguro.
was that Ennis, or Doc, as he preferred to be called, was smitten with her. The other was that Letty was with
Lamihan sa tanaw ni mga green.
letter from Bell Rob had given her
Nahan
a
sa kung tanaw
perfectly
sa balik-balik.
reasonable excuse for that, of course. The dead husband, who tragically had lost his life at the Battle of Bull Run. In truth, Letty had never been married. And while it was certainly possible the father of her child had been killed in
Ah, nag-live pala to si Sikoy, oh.
sure, it was just as possible that Luke Jensen was
Nag-live
still
pala to
alive.
siya nung nakaraan.
She hadn't seen him since he joined the Confederate Army and gone off to war. That blasted war had played a part in her current predicament. The night before he left, Luke had come to Letty from him to say goodbye. Their passion for each other had caused them to get carried away. Luke had spent the night, and he was gone the next day without ever knowing.
Galing talaga mag-ano eh.
His life inside.
Gawa ng tinapay eh.
Once she discovered it, she
Sana
had
all.
little to tell. He had enough to do trying to stay alive in the madness of war. Need anything to distract him. Someday, the terrible times were over if he came home safe. She would let him know he was a father. When her belly had swollen enough that only a blind man could miss it, she finally said something.
42, 45 dan. Isa lang siya lang nagpa-entry eh.
Mr. Monday, there's a subject we should discuss.
Let's discuss why you still resist calling me Doc. Well, my friends call me, and I think we're friends by now, don't you? You don't object when I call you Letty,
I could hardly object. You've been so kind to me.
so you really do mind, is that it?
No, I don't mind. In fact, I like it, Doc.
Good. That's so.
Wala
But
naman
that's not
nao
what I
eh.
want to talk to you about.
Class
Wala
is
nao.
serious. No, I'm not.
Ano o na live?
Serious
Mga
matters.
nao.
That's why I spend most of my time in saloons playing cards.
You spend most of your time in saloons playing cards because you're a rapscallion.
Ano pala?
Guilty as charged, man.
What I'm talking about is that I'm in a family way. You know it, Doc.
You were a married woman until recently. There's nothing unusual.
Nagpagwapa si Sikoy, ano, Sally?
I know that. It's just that
You really think it matters to your life? I'll be honest with you. I've grown quite fond of you in the time we've known each other. Why, if I had anything to offer you other than a wastrel's life? No, let's not go down that path, I suppose. The facts are what they are. But the fact that you're expecting doesn't change the way I feel about you. Not one bit.
you are a dear man, and Miss Monday.
Don't let my enemies hear you say that. They'll laugh themselves silly. Let's just put this behind us, shall we? When a child is born, I'll be there for you. Whatever you need, I'll provide if it's in my power to do so.
Thank you.
She knew she ought to do something to express her gratitude in a more tangible manner. He hinted that he wanted to marry her. In many ways, that would be a good thing to do. The child could grow up with a father and would never have to know the truth. But what about Luke? If he lived through the war, did he have a right to know about the child? Besides, in many ways, she still loved him. Luke Jensen was a good, strong man from a decent family. Back in Missouri, Luke's younger brother and sister, Kirby and Jamie, had been in Letty's class.
Daan sa bahay ko.
Jamie was a bit of a flirt, but a decent girl at heart. And Kirby was a fine man. Letty would have been quite happy to be part of the Jensen family.
Ano yun?
If only
Kailan yan?
the rest of the world had
Ngayon ba yan?
way.
Yung misyo?
But as Dr.
Tagal na yan eh.
said,
Nanalo na nga si Hongkong eh.
Luke was gone, and he might not even be living. Letty was in Denver, growing larger by the day. And Ennis Monday's friendship had proven to be the salvation for which she
Parang
hoped.
gusto ko talaga yung ganyan, magpalagay ng kilay ba?
He took her back to the border.
Pag alis, JC, palagay talaga ako. Mahal kasi sayang.
Gusto mo na?
Turned away at the door.
Palagay.
And so he did.
Ano, gusto ko talaga yan, hindi na maglagay-lagay ng kilay.
Ah, para.
Before Letty knew that something was
Si ate nga nagpalagay. Pala mo, unay naman si Jai, wala namang problema eh. Siyempre, halangan mo, bayad, sugulo ng wow,
You have a
bayad.
good position for to perform that examination.
It's my considered opinion, Mrs. Madre.
Pero kasi pag ano kasi, delikado kasi yan eh.
Twins.
Pag tanda mo, mulaw-law mo na.
I started to say impossible, but I suppose.
Mulaw-law, madaot, yun ay mo na. Kaya mo us-us mo na are.
Can be at this point in time. It's a bit worse. Let me
Kailangan kasi yan may ano eh, may
You're
maintain.
somewhat of a intelligent woman. Giving birth to one baby may be rather difficult for you. We're talking about
Gusto ko, bibili ako ng ano, pilik matayo ng ilagay ko rito. Yung natural lang. Nakasuhan ako extension ah. Yung picture ko ng profile ko, extension yan. Pilik mata ko dyan ah. Ganda tignan pag may extension eh.
She knew it though. Somehow she knew
Isa-isa-
that
isa-isa yun ba yung pagkain?
Ang hirap kasi, sakit eh. Kinasakitan sa katanan. Okay. Pero sa kita.
Set in on Denver, bringing with it cold winds and blowing snow. Doc leaned against
Yan, dalawa na si Sikoy. Pangatlo yung sarili mo.
smoked a cigar. The sawbones had running out of the room, making some excuse about how the place was.
May anak sa dukan. Dungag.
The nurse he had brought with him, Letty, his doctor. He knew the man
Mamaya na,
was
Je.
born in an
Ako ra.
hour because he was afraid Letty was going to have a hard time.
Sige, tagkaubahaw ng kalakihan ng
That was what had happened.
orang sa duha.
Surprise had twisted his gut.
Nagagawa ko niya mag-loss.
Was the knowledge he could do anything to help him. Being one of the best poker players in the territory didn't need a damn thing now. Over the past 6 months, he'd grown closer to Letty than
Bigay
anyone
ko na
he
yan.
ever known.
Wala naman yan si Sikoy lang yan.
To talk her into marrying. She's dead.
Kana din entry eh.
View.
Sa kanya
She
lang
said
naka
she
halos siya.
couldn't marry another man until after the babies were born. That didn't make any sense to him, but he hadn't been able to get her to budge from her decision. Now,
Nabumbimban din yung iba.
he tried not to allow that thought to
Eh,
sink
kila
into his
ano,
brain.
lunik. Ayaw.
Down. Doc's heart slugged.
50 to 53 bagay dan.
He was no expert, but it sounded to him as if both babies had
Healthy sets of lunch. That was encouraging, but he still didn't know how to let it do. After a few minutes, it seemed like an eternity. The door opened. The doctor looked
Ano
at
na
him.
naman ulamin,
The
Diyos ko,
gloomy
ginoo ko.
expression on the man's face struck fear.
Sakit sa ulo yung ulam si Sikoy. Naubos niya yung karne gali ha? Matay yung bisgo, siyahan. Sarap pa yung ano, buwan.
Diyan, sa bawo.
Mag ano kaya ako ngayon, no? Kaso ni JC kasi hindi nakain ng munggo eh. Bilis. Ano kayang ulamin mamaya eh? Rito tag-isda, unsa may zaha. Isda pinirito, ganahan ba ko? Dito ka nga muna, tingnan ko yung ano. Ribs na naman, di atay, sige ribs. Kulit pa pa. What? Love dance, you want? Oh.
Come over here and make baby real quick.
Baby, you want baby later na.
They were in bassinets across the room, being tended to by the nurse. Of course, to him, all
Puro mo ni baboy na ano din.
he was an actual lion.
Yung baboy na rin. Saan mo nga? Kaon ng higa-higa. Ano makinain niya kaganina? Makinain mo kinasito mo? Si baboy na. Oh, hindi. Tinapay, kinain niya. Kayo lang pala kumuha, no? Kumain kanina. Ano ka nang pala po?
Dad, sa mga kilay. Kilay is life. 54 to 57.
No, you. They have someone else.
This could be. Barely spent time with her, barely got to know her. She couldn't keep such away from the past. She could have told her. Since she was right. He felt a hot sting inside. He realized it was true.
Yun na lang.
Ito?
Ribs, uli ulamin. Kasi isang lutuan na.
Ano yung barbecue?
Yun na naman.
Ako saan mo ito po? Barbecue. Ayan po, apat.
Why are you so pervert?
Casual.
My God, leave it alone.
Wow!
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Alone.
Ah, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Leave such a pervert, ha? Uy, nabuang ko na ulit sa live yan.
The doctor let him over to the bathroom. The doctor seen baby all those stars swallowing red face truck. William and Denver. Fine name, but so horrible. And that's really secret. We'll put them down on the papers because that's what your mother wanted, but I think I'll call you Ace. Your brother.
Uy, dumami yung tao. Naging 4. Thank you so much.
Ace and Chance Jensen.
Ako na yung 4.
Wyoming Territory, 1885. Ace and Chance kept a
Okay, doon sana, ibabad doon sana yan doon eh.
over several days.
Hindi natin yung mababad.
With Mayor Harrington's man. But eventually it became obvious that the corrupt politician
Sino nandyan?
hired hard cases out.
Si Sikoy, tapos na tayo si Sikoy. Wala na akong ibababa. Si Sikoy Jaswell. Mag-steady ka na doon sa kabila. Tapos na ako magbaba. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Bye-bye, si Sikoy. Tomorrow again.
Si Bibi. Kita si Bibi. Kita yung